to work. Hmm. Okay. The light is not going to work. Let's see if I close out this light and open up that. Now let's see. No. Yes? I don't know, y'all. It's hot though, so I might have to open this door back up. We'll see. Um, yeah. Let's share my screen. This one. Let's present. Hello, hello, hello. And share. I am. Do. Let me see. I just want to check how it looks. We still have 2 minutes before I start, anyways. Um, I haven't figured out exactly how to pre-check some of this stuff when you're before you start. But this has been set up for a month now. Um, yeah, it's not showing up for you guys. Share this tab. It's sharing. You guys can't see it unless you can hear me. Share this tab. Okay, yeah, you can hear me, but the tab isn't sharing. That's gonna be a problem. Let me see. Hmm. Okay, there I am. Hi. Let's go back to share. We want to share this tab and share. Hmm. It's black. Why is it black? Let me see. If I go to the next screen, they're all black. I don't know why that is. My goodness, the amount of technical difficulties. Um, hmm. I do not know, darling. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's showing up here. It's just when I see the my little hair is messing. There it goes. Okay. Doing something now. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Um, let me the description is in there. More. It's not allowing because I gotta open it in the app. I was gonna say it's not allowing me to chat. I just feel like it's easier for me to be able to respond to chats on my phone. So I'll have that open and I will close all my other apps and have my other my notes pulled up. Excuse me. And the time now is 6 o'clock. I am cozy in like my little Harry Potter closet because it is about the size of his room. Okay. So this is welcome to the Unlock Your Self Love by Healing Your Inner Child webinar. I'm very excited for today and I'm grateful for all of you who are watching this. Let me move on to the next slide. I think that it might be best. Let me see what happens. Okay, it's working with me. It's working with me. I just had to see if it was really working with me. Let me just organize some stuff a little bit so then that way it's easier for me to move with ease while we work today. Um, Again, I'm uh, readjusting to technology, I guess you can say. I'm going to go ahead and make this smaller. There it goes for me. And I can hit like that. Okay, perfect. So today's agenda, did I skip one? No. So we are going to do a brief introduction, a little about me, so you have a better idea of why, I don't want to say why I feel qualified, but why I feel qualified um, to teach on um, how unlocking your self-love and self-love journey. Then we're going to do, talk about how do we begin, and we're going to dive into the healing process. So we're going to, the breakdown is identify, connect, and heal. So that is today's agenda, and let's move forward with the introduction. So unlock your self-love by healing your inner child. I am Deshae Carter, and I will guide you through the unlock your self-love process. Let me move some stuff around so that I can see a little better. There we go. Um, so this process can be applied whether you are in the beginning stages or you have been on this journey for some time now. I myself have been, I'm trying to be centered, but I don't know how. And I'm used to my phone. Okay, whatever. Y'all see me. So whether you are in the beginning stages or you've already been on this journey for some time, I myself have been on this journey for about 4 years now. Whether you are working to deepen your love or you really need to unlock it, this these these steps can be applied no matter where you are on your journey. So it is important to know that you know what applies to you and what you can possibly benefit from it. I encourage you to keep an open mind and to listen to what I'm saying and take notes and let it sit with you, and then decide what you want to apply to your self-love journey, because you know your history, you know your what helps you learn and what helps you grow, and you know these things. You have the answers inside of you. I'm just here to give you how I heal and how I work on things, and you are able to take that and apply it to you in your situation, in your history, in your background. And so I just want you to have an open mind, listen to what I'm saying, and see how you can take something from this and apply it to your journey. So I am proud of all of you for taking this next step in your healing and just loving yourself enough to come to this webinar, because you are worthy of healing. So let's go to the next slide, which is the about me. And so the about me, I am going to do a little bit of reading because I did write it out in a way so that I can stay on track on our topic. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of reading. My inner child craves reassurance. She needs to be reassured that I will stand up for her and protect her, to know that she is worthy of love, kindness, honor, success, respect, and fair treatment. She needs to know that she is more than her looks, more than her body, more than sex. You see, my inner child was abused sexually intermittently from the age of 3 to 17. She was not protected, comforted, or nurtured. She spoke up for herself, and it got her nowhere. She struggles to believe that her voice matters, and sometimes she's uncertain about how important she is in the lives of others. Afraid that she is either unworthy or will be abandoned, she goes into overdrive trying to prove her worth. Have you ever felt comfortable doing something, but once you get ready to do it, fear comes over you and you don't understand where it comes from? You're ready to go, you're confident, and you get there and you freeze. For me, that fear that comes over me is from my inner child. It's my inner child's fears, not my adult self's fears. So let me tell you a mini story that makes things a little bit clearer about how the inner child works. I am a model. I took a course to enhance my skills at home. In sorry, I misread. I was reading too fast, is what I was doing. So I took a course to enhance my skills at home and in the mirror around my friends. Um, I'm. It's my skills are apparent. You can see my skill. You can see my gift. I'm very hot. Sorry. Um, and I'm confident and ready to go. I've even done shoots, so I know that I have the skill. Um, and when I got to class, I could feel myself holding back, right? I can feel myself, sorry, I can feel myself holding back unwillingly. It wasn't by choice. It wasn't, um, when you get nervous and you're like, no, I'm gonna back up. I'm not going to do that. Um, it was unwillingly. It was my inner child who was stopping me. Um, I'm trying to pull these words up here so I don't have to look away from you guys. I want to look at you guys while I'm speaking. Um, and I had this set up earlier, but I had some technical difficulties. So bear with me as I get this set up. Here we go. I honestly should probably let go of those just a little bit and just use them as a guideline because this is my story. I know it's what, but I want them here specifically so I can stay on track because I want this to be more controlled than my podcast. Um, because I want it to be structured in a way that you guys can actually take something away from it. Not saying that you don't take anything away from my podcast, but my podcast is a lot more conversational, as if me and you are having a conversation. So let me get to where I am. Perfect. You can still see me. Um, so this is called on-spot dissociation. So when I'm put on the spot, I freeze up and overthink. My inner child connects the spotlight with abuse and tries to protect me by containing my gifts. Convinced that the spotlight is what leads to pain. If I am seen, I may be sexualized, right? So that's not safe. If I'm seen, especially in the modeling industry, if I'm seen, if I'm in the spotlight, if I do a boudoir shoot, if I do, you know, a sensual pose, I may be sexualized. I am putting myself in harm's way. So my inner child, to protect me, freezes up. All right. So my adult self was ready to show what I practiced all week at home, but my inner child was fearful. After I began the steps that I'll share with you today, my inner child received the assurance that she needed and allowed me to show up and share my gifts. So let's go to the next slide, where did it go? Hold on now, Canva. Okay, y'all, let me move some work around. There we go. All right, let's go to the next slide. So the next slide is identify. Identify what needs to be healed. What needs to be healed. So I believe I have the next slide will bring up the examples. Yes. So self-worth, right? For me, it's self-worth, protection, consistency, especially when you struggle with fear from abandonment. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. What needs to be held? My self-worth, right? didn't believe that I was worthy um, of of attention, positive attention. It was positive attention because I received a lot of negative attention. So I didn't believe I was worthy of positive attention or success. That's one of the, these are some of the things that my inner child has been telling me lately with the success that I've been achieving, and with me overcoming some of these things. Um, these are some new fears. It's all centered around these, it's still centered around these three things, but it's just slightly different. Before it was like, are you worthy of being a model? Now it's like, are you worthy of positive feedback? Are you worthy of success? Are you worthy of all that comes with the success that you're going to get, you know? And so that is where that's what needs to be healed. That's what needs to be comforted. Protection. I wasn't protected as a child. I spoke up for myself. I tried to protect myself, and it got me nowhere. Um, you know, what, I spoke to one parent, and like I said, it didn't get me anywhere. And I spoke to the other parent was absent, so I wasn't protected by my parents, and the abuser was my older sibling, and so I just felt completely unprotected. So protection is big for me in my inner child, right? Consistency, my the nurturing and comfort that was received as a child was very inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. My father was in and out of my life, that inconsistent, you know. So these are things that follow us. So these are the things, identify what needs to be healed. Those were the three things that needed to be healed, that need some attention in my inner child. So it's like when a child comes to you and you say, hey, what's wrong? You're identifying what's wrong, because once you know what's wrong, it gives you the steps to what needs to be done next. So let's go to the next slide. Connect, right? So connected to why, this will guide your how. So connected to why, like I said, I was, it's going to be here. Why does my self-worth waver? Because as an adult, I know my worth, but my inner child had to live through trauma that made me feel like my body was, all my body was good for. I was only good for my body. I spoke up for myself, and I wasn't protected. Comfort, no protection, that all reinforce the belief that I was good for nothing but pleasing others, right? So it's important to know why. Connect what needs to be healed to why. You know, um, if you are having issues trusting people, okay, well, who didn't you trust when you were a child? A lot of times trust issues are connected to parents not showing up for your needs, right? So connect it to your why, right? And that will allow you to get closer to the healing, right? Who you need to forgive, or forgiving yourself, or whatever needs to be done. So let's go to the next example. Why do I feel unprotected? I felt unprotected because three of the most important people in my life, three people that were, you would think would protect you, right? Your parents and your older brother, right? Those are people that society tells us should protect us. Your flesh and blood, you know. So when I spoke up for myself as well, it didn't get me anywhere. So I felt like I couldn't protect me. The people who were supposed to protect me couldn't protect me, and so that's why I felt unprotected. That's why protection is big for me and my inner child, right? So the third example would be consistency. Why do I fear abandonment? One of my parents was physically not there, and the other one was present physically but neglected me emotionally and mentally, right? So I'm afraid of people walking out, right? So it all connects. So once you find out your what needs to be healed, and you connect it to your why, then you can go into how to heal it. Okay, so it lets you know what needs to be reassured. So for me, let's go back because the next slides are going to do something a little different. So I want to go back um, and break this down, and then we'll go back. We'll go to the other slides. So why does my self-love waver? Excuse me. What can we do for this? As I said, my self-worth wavers because, excuse me, life experiences from childhood all the way up into adulthood have reinforced this belief, right? And so my adult self knows that I'm worthy, but my trauma and my inner child before was accepting a lot of red flags. We weren't working together, right? And so red flags were being ignored because I wanted to feel wanted, right? And so I was allowing myself to be treated less than. And so it was an ongoing thing. And so now here we are in adulthood, and here we are deeper on our self love journey. And I know my worth. I know my worth. But there's some parts of my inner child that aren't healed that need to be taught my worth. My worth needs to be taught to my inner child because she didn't learn this, right? What she learned was she was here to please others, right? So she needs to be taught some self-worth, right? She needs to be um, taught that, and I can show her that, and I can communicate with her about that. So affirmations and reassurance, right? And so we're going to learn about that in the next one, but I just wanted to go back into that. As far as protection as well, I can reassure my inner child that she will be protected this time. Her voice matters. My voice matters. And that's an affirmation right there. Your voice matters. I will protect you. I had to also forgive myself. So that's another part of communication. So you'll know what needs to be done. In the slide, the last slide, I will say when communication, I'll say just communicate. But you know what you need to communicate. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive myself, one, for carrying around the guilt and shame of not protecting myself, because one, I tried. Two, I was a child. I was a child. So I could only protect myself so much, you know. So I had to forgive myself for that, but I also had to forgive myself for not protecting myself as an adult and allowing people to use me, take my kindness for weakness and things like that. So we do carry these things into our other relationships if we don't begin to heal that inner child and heal these things. So forgiveness was a big one for me on this one, on protection. As far as abandonment, I had it was affirmations as well, of course, communicating with myself that I am here. I am a safe space. I am here. I love me, and I will protect me. And I when you love yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you're willing to spend time with yourself by yourself. And you have to stop taking on other people's stuff. A lot of people have walked out of my life, and I chalked it up as to there's something wrong with me, you know, and ultimately there's nothing wrong with me. They weren't for me, and that's okay. And I learned a lesson from them, and I may have taught them something, taught them about love, or taught them about care, or taught them how to take care of them, whatever. We gained something from that time that we were together, and they're gone now. And it's not a me thing. Rejection is not personal. It's not. Um, Even if someone says it is, even if they say they don't want you because of this, and this, if you really like reflect on it, a lot of times it's them projecting onto you. So it's not personal, and so it's really about, like I said, the more you love yourself and you dive into yourself, you'll be able to be comfortable being by yourself, and you'll be able to reflect and be like, no, that wasn't for me. That was projection. or this person had that issue going on. That them leaving me was not a me thing. My dad not being in my life had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. My mom not showing up for me in a time of need had nothing to do with me. These were people who were doing their own, they had their own stuff that they were going through, and in their minds they were doing the best that they could to raise children. And is it an excuse? No, but it's the reality. Yeah. So what am I gonna, why would I keep holding on to that? It's time for me to heal my inner child, parent my inner child the way I feel like my inner child should have been parented, and move forward so that I can grow, so that I can be a great parent, and so that I can elevate and step into all my gifts, and not let my inner child's fear, that is, I don't want to say no longer relevant, because her fears are valid and relevant, but they were there to protect her, and they're no longer necessary because I got her, right? So let's move to the final stages, how to heal. All right. Build a relationship. Okay, communicate. Write letters to your younger self. Be raw. It'd be good to designate a journal to this, or audio journals are so perfect. I do both. I don't know if you've seen it. I posted a poem that I wrote to my inner child, when I shared the link to this live, and it was so powerful for me. And I also do audio. So if I'm feeling away, I'll just turn my audio on, and I'll start venting to myself. And then I'll realize, that's not a you, that's your inner child crying out. So then I'll start speaking to her, and I'll start reassuring her. um, you know so if I, like I said, lately it's been, you are worthy of success, right? You are worthy of positive feedback. So I will reassure her. I'll say, you know, you may be afraid of continuing on and stepping into this light, walking into your calling, because in the past, you experienced unhealthy relationships, codependency relationships. When you spoke up, you were either talked down to, or cut off, or silenced. But you are not a child anymore. I got you. We have grown up, and we are a megaphone. And that was things trying to get in the way of your calling, but your calling is to speak. You have a message in your belly. You are a megaphone. You are a megaphone. You are a megaphone. That's my number one affirmation right now, is you are a megaphone. Your voice matters. And I'll speak to her however I feel like she needs to be spoken to. If I need to be firm with her, I'll be firm with her. If I need to be gentle with her, I'll be gentle with her. Exactly how you would with a child. Okay. So, and in the letters, like I said, be raw. In the audio, be raw. You can talk about, like I said, with kids, I talk about my mistakes. Mommy was upset about this, and I took it out on you when I raised my voice. I'm sorry. It's absolutely okay that you asked for this. It was just timed badly, or you repeated yourself a couple of times, and it made mommy feel rushed. So my anxiety got heightened, and I was overwhelmed. And so I raised my voice. It's all those things. So when you write in the journal, when you do the audio, be raw, be honest. You have to be honest. You have to be raw. You have to be real with yourself, with your inner child. And that is how you're going to get that healing process going. Affirmations are powerful. Some people will say that they are not. Let me tell you, honey, they need to be specific if they're not working for you. I remember when I first started affirmations, it was, I am enough. I am worthy. But that's cool. But I needed deeper. I am worthy of healing. I am worthy of love right now, how I am, healed, unhealed, broken, not broken, you know, imbalanced. I am worthy of love, period. Right? So being specific, it really helps. It really helps to be specific. And that's why you go through this process. You go through this process as many times as you need to. Name you name it, you connect it, and then you know how to heal it, right? So name it, and then you'll have a specific, you can build a specific affirmation. I am my safe space. That was my biggest one, for being in the spotlight, because um, fear of not being worthy, fear of not having protection, fear of not even inconsistency. I am my safe space. I got me. I got my back. I live with me every day. you know so I'm here, I'm present, I got you. you know I am my safe space. The spotlight is healing. That is what encourages me, because the thing is, it is healing. Every time I put myself in a position, I'm able to grow skills. I'm also able to um, push through the triggers, right? And make myself stronger, so that that fear of being in the spotlight shrinks, right? So the spotlight is healing. That's my affirmation. I am faithful to myself. So yes, this person and that person may not have been consistent with me, faithful to me, but I am faithful to myself. And that is important, right? Because we live with ourselves every day. We are the person that we will have until the day we die, right? So affirmations are important. Communicating with yourself, whether that's writing, audio, video, however you need to communicate with yourself, song, poetry, however you need to communicate with yourself, communicate with your inner child. Write to her. Write about what happened to her or him. Write about, I see that you're feeling this way. Do those things. Like I said, the way you would communicate with a child, it is your job now to parent your inner child, because your inner child, not saying they weren't parent correctly, but you had needs that weren't met, and that is why we have to heal our inner child, right? It's up to us now. It's on us now. And that's great, because you do. You have the answers. They are inside of you. And once you start doing this work, they will come out of you. They'll come out of you. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Nurture. Give yourself the things you missed out on: care, compassion, grace, attention, affection. These are all things that I missed out on. And so I give myself grace. If I feel like I was trying to meet a standard up to here, I always feel like I just skip steps and I just try to go somewhere, right? And I'm hard on myself, like those strict parents, because as a child, I wanted to do things right and look good, because that was when I got attention, positive attention from my parents, right? Is when I did something good, when I joined the choir, when I joined praise dancing, when I was in the fashion show, when I, got a great grade, when I got positive recognition, it made her look good. So then I got some positive attention, and so now I don't want to say I skip steps, but when you set a goal and you give yourself time to work up to that goal. I don't give myself time to work up to that goal. I just try to meet it, period. There's no gray area. And so I've had to give myself grace, because it's not just me anymore, right? I have kids. I have this wonderful community that I'm building. I'm human, period. So it happens. I'm not going to just pop up there, right? So I need to give myself grace. I need to give myself compassion the same way I would you. And attention. I need to give myself attention. So I need to take myself out on dates. I need to have self time with myself. I need to give myself affection and care and love. And so these are all things that we need to do that will help heal our inner child, because it lets them know your inner child is in you, right? So when you take care of you, it heals your inner child, because your inner child knows that they can trust you because you are taking care of them. Reassurance is a big thing Reassurance is a big thing, okay? And this is something that I feel like we go into. I don't know what that typo is. Um, we feel like we go into. I feel like we go into relationships expecting others to reassure our inner child, and it's up to us to do that. And some partners will do that. Some partners, it's too much work for them. We're expecting them to heal us when it's our job to heal us. It's our job to parent our inner child. So let's talk about how we can parent our inner child. When you are triggered, remind yourself of your affirmations. Once you start doing your affirmations consistently, your brain will automatically remind you. They will. When I go into photo shoots and I feel myself start to I can feel myself start to shrink, and I will say, there's healing in the spotlight. I am my safe space. I remind myself that I am worthy of success. I'm worthy of these gifts that God gave me to make room for me, right? So I have to remind myself of those affirmations. But like I said, when you say them repetitively, they will come to you. The one that you need, the most powerful one, will come to you when you need it. And you say them as many times as you need to. I usually have to say them 3 times, especially if I'm having a moment. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of success, period. Um, and it does help to say these in the mirror. That eye contact plus hearing your voice say it, it's so reassuring. It's like you're looking at a child. When you look at a child and they're hurt and you say, I love you and I'm here for you, and you see their little face melt, it's like that. It's very healing. It sounds simple, but honey, 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 it is very healing. Just like with children, it's their needs are simple. You did a good job, and that lights them up. You give them a high five and they're off the wall. That's all you need, that reassurance that, yeah, girl, you did a good job. I'm proud of you. You could look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your success. I'm proud of your something got in my eye. I'm proud of your progress. You can even, today was a hard day, but we're still here. I'm proud of you for still being here. I'm proud of you for not giving up, period. You know what I'm saying? So reassurance is very important. Develop self-trust by setting mini goals and following through. That will help you grow your trust with yourself, and your inner child grow your grow it'll help the trust, okay, all the way around. Let's just say that. Okay, so mini goals like I'm going to do my facial routine, and you do your facial routine. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to write myself a letter. Mini goals, and commit to them. And the more you do it, the more that trust will grow, that self-trust, and you can make it into bigger things. You know, um, trusting what your intuition is telling you, that is going to grow, especially when you find out you was right, honey, because our intuition it's a message from the body, right? And so it keeps you it like I said, it's your body will speak to you. Your body will feel things sometimes before you see it. And so that intuition will let you know. And once you obey it and you follow through, it just grows your intuition, grows your self trust, and it connects all of you. So just set those mini goals and follow through, and it'll build your self trust. Spend quality time with yourself. And I mean quality time, I mean like no phone, no phone, no, you know, no phone, like just doing things you love, whether that's taking a new class, cooking, art, um, quiet time, even if it's like binging your favorite show while sipping some wine, doing things that are just you about you. It's not about pleasing someone else. It's not about going out with your girls, or having a movie night with your girls, or having a guys' night. It's not about, because in those situations we do tend to have to compromise, right? You may not want to eat at such and such, but you got outvoted. You know what I mean? Quality time with yourself where you get to choose, you get to decide, you get to make the rules, you have control, right? And that builds that bond, that builds that connection with you and your inner child. It heals you. It reassures that you can make decisions for yourself, right? Because that's what children like. They want to feel in control. They have these adults telling them stuff all the time, and they don't always have they don't have money or a car, this or that, and so they don't have that independence. So they feel like small, you know? And so spending that quality time with yourself, allowing yourself to make decisions for yourself continuously, that will build your relationship with your inner child. Allow yourself to do stuff that you wanted to do as a child. I wanted to do gymnastics as a child. Maybe I'll take a gymnastics class. I wanted to sing. I definitely want to take a vocal lesson. Will I be a singer? Maybe not. But it's something that my inner child wanted. I wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to be a fitness instructor. I wanted to sew. All the things, right? So, engage with your inner child, go in a bounce house, have some fun. No, but for real, just think of some of the stuff that you wanted to do as a child that you didn't get to do and try it out. Even if it's on a lower level, or even if you do that for like 20 minutes and then you move on to what your adult self likes. And enjoy you, get to know all the parts of you. And it will just grow your self love, and it'll grow your self acceptance and your self trust. And that's really important. Now, I don't know what this typo is. It says love mon. Oh, the M is not supposed to be there. Love on yourself. Give yourself hugs, massages, things that make you feel comforted and nurtured. This is a big one. And if you haven't noticed, I mentioned most of the love languages in these last few slides on how to love yourself. And human touch is powerful. Um, and it's important that we love on ourselves as well. And it's very stimulating, and so it's important that we nurture ourselves um, as well. A lot of this stuff, like I said, we are on this journey by ourselves. We have to live with ourselves for the rest of our lives, so we have to give ourselves the things that we keep expecting from everybody else. You know what I mean? We have to give our inner child the things that we expected from our parents but did not get. So it's important that we dive into that and do those things as well. So let me see. This is the part where I would ask if anyone has questions, but there are no viewers at this point. So if you do have questions and you're watching the replay, you can go ahead and ask them here. I will answer them either on another video or in the chat. And if you enjoyed this webinar, go ahead and drop your favorite emoji. And then I also want to know how helpful was this to you on a scale of 1 to 7. And be honest with me, okay? And if you feel like you want to be real honest and you want to be blunt, go ahead and email me, okay? The email is beautifully imbalance.community@gmail.com. So the healing does not end here. I do a weekly podcast, and I share my story, and you can take what you can from my story to heal. And then I have a Patreon community where we do the work. And so in the Patreon community, you gain daily affirmations, resources that have been successful in unlocking my self-love, quizzes that aid in getting to know yourself, advice that I give myself, or that I have been giving quotes, maybe quotes that I've gotten from books that have been so helpful to me. Chats on topics like boundaries, grief, drama. Trauma, not drama, honey. We don't do no drama. Oh, actually, I have a slide for this. Sorry, y'all. Boom. So the chats, I do a weekly live on Wednesdays with a Q&A. It's usually it's usually for the challenge, whatever monthly challenge we're doing that month, every Wednesday. But we can do a Q&A in there as well. So it's a nice little hybrid session. If you're doing the challenge, it allows you to share some feedback, or what, a testimony or whatever. But if you have some Q&A, or you've sent me a question um, via email or private message or whatever, that is where I will answer those. So that's what that's for. So that is the beautifully imbalanced, the imbalanced community in the Patreon, and that is where we do the work. And so it is a $10 subscription, and the link is on the page. I don't know if I put it in the chat now, if it'll be in the chat when people are let's see. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it is the Patreon link on my YouTube. Is this gonna copy? Copy the link, shout it. Just copy it from up here. So like I said, the healing doesn't stop here. The goal is right now, I am building a community where we can all help one another. We are on these journeys by ourselves, yes, but there is a lot that we can learn from one another. There is a lot that we can assist by sharing our testimony, or like I've said before, I may say I'm vocal about something I'm going through, and you've already been through it. So you reach out to me directly and you share your testimony with me and what works for you. And that's how it works. I want us to help each other heal, to communicate with each other with kindness. I also want it to be like, oh, I'm not the only one in the world going through this. No, honey, you're not. Let's help each other. Let's go together. Let's elevate, So if you're ready to commit to your self-love journey and unlock your self-love journey to the next level, click the link and we can start growing this community together. And if there aren't any more questions, I will go to the last slide, the second to last slide. Let me click it. Boom. Remember that you are worthy of healing. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of protection. You are worthy of consistency. And I see that I did not clear those typos out. Y'all, you are worthy of space. I have to add space on there because I have learned that I need space sometimes to process, because I have sometimes it's called an emotional delay. And so I will connect to my emotions after the fact, after I've processed what's been said, after I process how I felt in the moment and how I felt after what has been said sank in. And so I need space, and I'm worthy of space. I don't always need to give an answer right away. I don't need to be, I don't want to say be who someone needs me to be, but sometimes people want you to show up for them in a certain way right then and there. Oh, I didn't know that light was actually helping me. And so I'm worthy of space. I'm worthy of space. I'm worthy of healing. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of respect. And so those are some of the things, some of the affirmations that I wanted to share with you guys. This is all my contacts. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. The next one will be on total body acceptance. And like I said, these are my contacts. If you want to email me about a situation you're going through that you want me to speak on, or if there's a topic you want me to speak on, or anything of that sort, that is where you can message me. I also have the Beautifully Imbalanced Instagram, which I will be doing Thursday night live interviews on there now. And then the Patreon, like I said, is where we do the work. That's where the work comes in. I don't have my website on here, but I do have an affirmation clothing brand with a Worthy Always collection that I just, hello, I'm doing something. You need to wait. Sorry. I have a Worthy Always collection that just launched some new designs, and like I said, the affirmations help me so much, and that's where it started. I started wearing the affirmations, and they just got into my mind, and then I was able to let them guide me and strengthen me to where I am today. And so that is all, you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Remember that you are worthy, 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 worthy always.